What's up, guys? Welcome back to Fewer Castles. Today we're going to start off with a miden. Castle levels of 19. So we'll jump into it on my knight. I think I had my knight selected. Yeah, okay. Cool.
Let's do this thing.
Alright, jelly wall with a snotter in it. Always a good thing. It also is a green snotter, so it's super low level. Kind of kept it low just for that specific purpose. Is kind of interesting. The snotter being in here doesn't really do all that much for you, though. You know, obviously, the only thing that it does is I'm coming up here, you know, it aggroes it around a corner. It's not the biggest deal in the world. Alright, some more Zeeks. I think I actually could kick this guy away from him and de-link. That's actually something that knights can do now, because the leash range has been changed, so that it's, you know, if it gets within 4 meters instead of 5, the bodyguard will break, so you can kick the Defendatron away, and it will de-link it, and you don't have to really worry about it anymore. Alright. This looks like a smaller half group. I don't think it's full of 20 units. So this is working well until you get through the Cyclops, and then the archers just die really quickly because they're all clumped together. Likewise, if a archer was doing this, if he volleyed all of this group of archers, they would all die. If there's any way that you could spread them out, maybe have some of them farther back away from them, maybe have one up here, one farther back in this corner, and one a little bit closer. It might spread them out a little bit more, and, you know, make it a little bit more difficult to engage it. Alright, that actually might be an upgrade for my knight. I don't know. It's actually a level 19 castle, so it could possibly be. So as you can see, I kick him away, and now I can engage the Zeke. I might die here. Better potion. Double Zeke is a pretty good pull for a double pull. Like, with both having Defendatrons like that, it's pretty difficult to get through. I'm not being super heads up about actually dodging, though. I could do it a little bit better. You know, when you're approaching jelly walls like this, and you know someone is capable of having a snotter inside of it, if you notice when I walked up here, I actually just moved my mouse over this jelly wall, just to see if a name would pop up at the top like you can see there. That's just something you should get in the habit of doing, as well as going around certain corners. You'll kind of get used to it more and more as you die to things over and over again. You'll get better and like more heads up about, you know, just checking to see what's coming around a corner or what's being hidden from you and stuff like that. There are different ways of getting information, even more so than, you know, the game is giving you with like camera rotation and all of that. There's just a lot of information you can get. So when you get better at doing that, the attacking will become a lot easier for you as well. I guess I'm probably one of the top attackers in the game, maybe top 10 or something. I've won a couple competitions. Well, actually just one. I won one attack competition so far. I didn't win it, I got 3rd place. We'll see with the next competition coming up, it's defense plus attacking. I do need to rebuild my castle eventually. Basically, I'm going to be rebuilding my castle sometime this week, but the VODs for rebuilding it won't come out until a couple days after, because I want to keep my castle a secret. You know, I know people don't necessarily cheat or anything like that, and it's just hard not to, right? If a couple people I know watch my channel that are competitors in these weekly competitions, and if they watch through the video, they're going to remember certain parts of it possibly. So I just want to keep it fair, and I'm not going to come out with that video series until after the competition is over. And we might see something like I rebuild my castle every week or something, and just do little changes, and come out with videos every once in a while of how my castle looks currently, you know, after the competition's already over. I think that's how I'm going to be doing things. So it's going to be like a 3-day delay on the actual videos coming out for when I rebuild my castle, but I'll still record myself doing it and show you guys afterwards. And then on top of it, I can, you know, do competition replays as long as there's not a patch right afterwards. Because for the last couple, I've had my replays go invalid because of small little patches that they do. So I haven't been able to show you guys all the replays from competitions like I'd like to. But that should be something that's coming in the future. Alright, so yeah, a lot of archers in this castle. I had to use almost 2 potions. I do have reasonably high defense for a knight at level 16. My DPS is quite low, but a lot of my Yeah, I'm gonna have to use a potion because you have a Dr. Skull here, which is kind of interesting. I haven't really seen a Dr. Skull with a Snottingham before. Usually people prefer the Defendatron to keep their healer alive a little bit longer. I wouldn't say that this is bad necessarily, because it does seem to heal for more. I've still yet to confirm that, but a couple of my viewers have said that Dr. Skulls do indeed heal for more. It's not just the AoE being larger, so I think it's a fine little change that you made, having the Dr. Skull instead of a Robo-Shieldatron, Defendatron plus a Puppeteer combo instead. So we will jump into number 2 in just a second. Alright, for number 2 we have Deneroth. Castle level is a 19.
Who's first? Don't worry, there's plenty of pain to go around.
Alright. You know, another check, like I'm just doing a check really quickly, like I was talking about in the last castle. I just kind of wave my mouse up at the top, and I can see that there's a Cyclops and a Snotter somewhere up in this general area. You know, I can rotate it. There's the Cyclops, the Snotter's over, or the Cyclops. Snotter's right here, Cyclops is up in this area here. So just little checks like that you can do really quickly by waving the mouse upwards, and just get a general feel for what might be coming at you. Something people should get in the habit of if you're a newer Mighty Quest person. You can definitely get a pretty big advantage by doing little things like that. I'm giving away all my secrets here to attacking. But I mean, it's pretty easy. A lot of my secrets is also my semi-OP gear that I've spent quite a bit of time finding throughout my time in Mighty Quest, and it's still not as good as it could be. A lot of level 30s have over 1,000 DPS. I have like 920 or something, and my hit points are quite low for an archer at level 30. I have around 3,100, which is on the low side. I've seen as low as about 2,800, and the average is probably about 3,300, so I'm a little bit below average. Alright. Back to the castle. I wasted my smite. That's okay. The attack speed buff, it's doing reasonable damage to me, but not crazy amounts. Mainly because, like I've said, Cyclopses aren't the best damage dealers in the world. When they have the over-the-head smash, if that hits on you, it can do reasonable damage. When you're looking to do damage with Cyclopses, that's the way to go. I think you have yours on charge, and the Smelly Warriors, just in general, their stats are just too low to do really anything. I've also talked a little bit about spike traps and the fact that rotating cannons, I believe, are better in almost every circumstance, especially when there's only 2 active panels. When there's 3 active panels, spike traps are a little bit better at actually zoning people out, and creating distance between, like, you know, it makes people want to vault over spike traps and can put them in a dangerous situation right away. Whereas maybe, hold on, I want to not die. Maybe rotating fire traps make someone kind of walk slowly around them, so that they don't get hit. Those little like millisecond delays have been also hitting me quite a bit. I've heard a couple people complaining about those. Not the biggest deal in the world, but it is a little annoying. That's something that came about in patch 19. I'm not sure what they changed to make that happen. Alright. So Zeke, you can see I pulled it away, and the leash range is just so low now that I could have engaged the Zeke straight away from that if I wanted to. Alright, let's see what's coming over here. Again, just kind of waving my mouse over there. I can see that there's units kind of around in this general area. Probably waiting for me on the other side of the spike trap. So I have to be a little bit more careful. That's just all that tells me. Another one of those little leg spikes. Alright, charging Cyclops charges away from the Defendatron. I don't know if it was meant to be defended anyway. You know, these Stairmasters are kind of interesting. I've talked about it a little bit as well. They're really one of the few useful specializations of Stairmasters at this low level. Level 20, which isn't that low, it's kind of mid-range, but they are easy to dodge, as you can see. It makes things a little bit more annoying to engage all of these groups. Like, I have to be aware of where those eyeballs are going, because if you do take a couple of those, you can go very low in hit points very quickly. They do about 100 damage per hit. And when you have a total of like 15 of them coming at you, if you take all of those, you'll die, so have to be a little bit careful. I'm not sure, I've heard rumors that it's been changed back where if a hunger bot hooks you into them, you don't still have damage immunity. I'm not sure if those rumors are true, because I haven't currently tested it. I think it's still kind of useless regardless because of camera rotation. So, you know, they're hard to make proper use of, is what I would say about those specific Stairmaster specialization. The teleport one is still good against knights. It's okay against archers, but not amazing. It's definitely better at the higher levels, just like all the other Stairmaster specializations. Alright, I like this okay. Makes it so that I can't, you know, use my punt ability to stun all of these archers, so I kind of have to take a little bit extra damage. I think that's pretty good. Alright, what do we got for the boss room? I've actually noticed something about battering rams as well. I want to see if that is true on this level as well. Yeah, so what I've noticed about battering rams is actually the stun on battering rams is actually longer than on Cyclopses now. For some reason, they didn't change the stun on battering rams. I don't really understand it at all. But it seems like the stun is longer than on battering rams at this level than on Cyclopses at like level 28, which are supposed to get a longer increase on their stun. Which is pretty interesting because it's a lower cost unit, so they do have to be injured in order to stun, but that's really the only change. I don't know. It might be worthwhile now to use battering rams over Cyclopses in certain circumstances. They're decent. I had a problem in a level 32 castle recently where I got stunned by one of those battering rams into one of those rotating cannon traps, and he had a couple archers behind, and it actually killed me because the stun duration was pretty long, and I was like, huh, that actually seems like it's a pretty long stun still, when I thought that all of the stuns had been nerfed, so it might be something that I start looking into using. I've really hated battering rams up until this point, but I can see a use for them now, I guess, because Cyclopses are so much weaker. So yeah, we will jump into number 3 in just a second. Alright, for number 3 we have GISP or GISP or whatever your name might be. Cast level's at 27. Jump into it on my archer.
Those monsters won't know what hit them.
As you guys can see, my life force is actually pretty low right now because I've been upgrading random units that I've used to think were useless and might have somewhat of a purpose now, because every unit's kind of worthless. You really have to rely on traps to do your damage for you, so I'm kind of gearing up for rebuilding my castle in the next day or two. Alright, so Mega Muttons I think are still good at this level specifically. At level 26 I think they're good at. At level 22 I think they might be kind of bad now, because their fire damage has been nerfed so much. And then the Pete Poundmore's fine. Pretty standard groups overall so far. Let's see what this pulls, if anything. I don't really... okay, there it is. Some Explodifiers and a Defendatron inside of it. I don't know if he's on AoE or what, but I'll wait around. Explodifiers have been nerfed. Okay, he's on Bodyguard. Explodifiers have been nerfed quite a bit. The Jimbo's pretty cool here. Because if you pull everything, you're kind of wasting a lot of your time killing off bomblets rather than killing off the Jimbo. So it's possible that he gets his hit off and, you know, one-shot somebody or something. That's really what you're going for at the level 26 Jimbo when you use him, is he's gotten a pretty big damage increase. And you can catch a lot of people who have just leveled to 26. I think almost everybody's done that once, where they're like, oh, it's a Jimbo, I can tank a couple shots from him. Yeah, he does, you know, 300, 400, 500 damage. But I can tank a shot or two from him, and then you get hit in the face with a 2600 damage swing and it like one-shots you. I think everybody's done that at least once. I know I have done that multiple times. I was like, that's gotta be a crit or a bug or something, and no, that's just his normal damage at level 26. It's pretty awesome. Alright. Mega Muttons aren't really my favorite unit to have, like, double pulled through a wall just because they're kind of quick. It's not really the biggest deal though, but if, as you noticed right there, I killed the Mega Mutton before his support got around because he's so much quicker than the Bone Puppeteer. That won't always be the case because I have really high damage, but the Mega Mutton will still be quite low compared to when the Puppeteer actually shows up. It'll only take a couple more hits, so if the person has even like average DPS, he probably can finish off the Mega Mutton before the Puppeteer really does anything useful. He might get one healing wave off or something. So you'll want to try to slow down the Mega Mutton or speed up the Puppeteer if you want to keep it that way. Or what I probably would do is switch around your Scorpio that was here and your Mega Mutton pull, and just switch them so that you have the Scorpio coming around the wall and the Mutton being the one that is, you know, the second pull basically. Then you have an added benefit of the Scorpio possibly pulling into the Mega Mutton, causing the double pull that way. Alright. Looks like you have the specialization here, that's the DPS specialization. To be honest, Cyclopses have been so worthless in all of their other specializations. I think this could be viable now. It's kind of funny because I think it's a really low DPS mob for what it is. Like it's not really the lowest DPS. It does hit you for about 400, maybe 400 to 500, somewhere in that range. But it's weak overall in terms of like hit points and stuff. Like I don't think it's going to stay alive long enough to do more than that 500 damage. And I don't know, for 6 points I don't find it to be all that worth it. In terms of just raw DPS, at least I didn't before this patch. I thought it was just more useful as another specialization, but now that their stun has been nerfed so much, it might be worthwhile to just use it as a raw damage unit. Something I'll have to play with probably. It actually might be something I put into my castle, I'm not sure yet. A lot of what I'm going to be going for is, when I rebuild, is going to be all revolving around the traps, and the minions will be there to support the traps, different from what I've done in any of my previous castles where the creatures are the main focus and then the traps come afterwards and the traps are there to support the creatures. I think this is going to be more as many traps as I can fit in, the creatures to put the hero like in a bad spot around the trap. Because traps I think do the majority of your DPS now, not really creatures. Alright, did I double pull? Looked like I might have. Alright. So yeah, I mean, Explodifiers, I don't really like them anymore. They're okay, I guess, at level 28. At level 30 and 32, I don't think Explodifiers are worth it. I think Mr. Boom Booms are still okay because they just have a lot of tankiness to them. So you really have to find a good spot without being hit by a trap and just slowly kill them, which it adds to the timer, makes people have to rush through things, and I think that's always a good thing for a defender to do. Alright, then we have one of these guys. An IMAX. Your IMAX could be leveled up soon. Obviously you have a couple level 28 creatures already, so maybe you're trying to stay at level 27, I don't know, but at level 24 he's not really going to do enough damage to make it so that like any level 27, 28, 29, 30 are going to be all that scared of him as a boss, so you probably either want to switch him out or upgrade him to level 28, and even then, I don't think IMAX is like that amazing. He's okay, he can do enough damage where it hurts when you have a boss room like that. I've had trouble with a boss room that has a bunch of mines and has that specific IMAX in there, so it is possible that it can work. That is number 3, so we will end the video here. As always, if you guys enjoyed it, do please subscribe. If you want to be a part of viewercasts, you can email me at frenzycastleruns@hotmail.com. Again, link in the description, going to a spreadsheet that shows you basically where your name is after you submit. It takes me sometimes a couple of days to update the spreadsheet, check my emails, check my videos for comments on that sort of thing, but I try to keep it updated, so hopefully I will be getting towards the end of that list within this week, and we can, get into some more newer castles. Yeah, that's pretty much it, so thank you guys for watching, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.